Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog .stampwithelaine.com and welcome to this Fun Fridays project. Today we're making a pocket card using the Lilypad Lake stamp set and the Lakeside framelit dies. If you purchase these together as a bundle, you will save 10%. I just wanted to point out that the stamp of the waves does not match the die at all, so that's separate. To make the pocket card you need half an A4 sheet. This is in thick Whisper White cardstock and it measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 7/8 inches. In centimetres, that's 21 centimetres by 14.85 centimetres. To make the band that goes around the pocket card, you'll need a strip that is 2 inches by the width of an A4 card. That will measure 2 inches by 8 1/4 inches. In metric, that will be 5 centimetres by 21 centimetres. For the insert, Whisper White Standard, 3 1/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. You'll also need some blueberry bushel scrap cardstock and Whisper White for the labels and to cut out the detail on here, plus the tag. Other materials you need are the blueberry bushel ink pads and also Tuxedo Black Memento ink, 2018 to 2020 in colour markers, the Delicate Edgelit dies, which you'll find on page 218 of the new annual catalogue, a 1-inch circle punch and circle tab punch, big shot and magnetic platform. Take your Whisper White cardstock and you need to score it on the long side at 3 7/8 inches and 7 7/8 inches. Turn it a quarter turn and then you need to score it at 3/8 inches on one side. While we have the scoreboard, we might as well score one end at 3/8 inches on the blueberry bushel piece. Burnish the cardstock. Where the two score lines intersect, we want to cut at an angle on one end and establish which is the front of the card. So this is going to be the front of the card where that score line is. So you want to keep the tab on that. Okay, but you're going to cut away, have an angle there, but you're going to cut away this portion here. Then I'm going to take my circle punch where the flaps are on that panel. I'm just going to find the centre, sort of make it equidistant between the two score lines here, and just do it roughly by eye and punch halfway like a semicircle. I've mounted my stamps on a block H, G and B, I think this is. And first I'm going to ink the sailboat stamps in blueberry bushel, and I'm just going to stamp randomly on this portion here. And I'm not going to re-ink the stamp. Now I'm going to pick up some ink with the clear block and take an aqua painter and pick up some ink. I don't want the colour too intense, so I'm just going to scribble some water lines there. Clean my brush, so I'm going to run some tear and tape down the side and on the base. remove the backing tape and close that pocket. Remove the backing tape from that end, tuck it in, and seal the ends. Then I'm going to wrap the blueberry bushel piece round the pocket and put it face down this way and create another crease so I can join it onto this bit here. So fast fuse, make sure the ends meet up, get rid of the excess glue with this special eraser that Stampin' Up used to carry but doesn't anymore. With a scrap of Whisper White I'm going to stamp this sentiment. To see far is one thing, going there is another. So I'm going to stamp that first in Blueberry Bushel. And while I've got my scratch paper out, I might as well do some stamping and colour my boats, then I can dye everything at the same time. So a tiny bit of colouring. This is Pineapple Punch. So I'll set that aside and also do the inside of my card at the same time. Blueberry Bushel, I need to stamp the sentiment. And I just hope I'm going to get this straight. Okay. That's not too bad. If you've noticed that I've only used the one ink pad, I'm going to stamp off punch out a tab. I'm going to prepare my die for die cutting, and I want it to be secure, and I'm die cutting it upside down. Because this is a more detailed die, I'm die cutting it the other way round. So my top cutting plate is now on the bottom. I've got my die face up, cutting edge face up, and I've secured it to my cardstock. The bottom cutting plate, which is heavily marked, that will go on top, and then I'll run it through the big shot. I also need to die cut the sailboats and the label, so I'll do that now. The last piece of die cutting I have to do is for this bit here and the water feature. So my magnetic platform, base cutting plate, die, and I'll also die cut this label off camera, and I'll be back. So I'll take these bits off. I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm just going to trim this a little bit better. I've put Tombow glue all around the edges. Now I'm just going to stick it down to this panel here. Glue on the back of the label and pop that on this Blueberry Bushel mat. Dimensionals on the back. Dimensionals on the back of the sailboat. Pop it here. and then a mini dimensional on the back of this tiny sailboat. Now for this one, a bit of the tab here shows, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip off a little bit so it won't show. So I'm going to put glue on the front and back, and pop the card in and centre it over the hole here. Fold the tab over and pinch. Run the glue on over here, and I've also put glue on the tips. Then I can just marry it up on my card and trim off the excess. Make sure it's lined up and not showing at the back, and I can trim it off. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, then do give me a thumbs up, I'd be ever so grateful. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section, with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed on my blog at blog.stampwithelaine.com. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye!